and all the mountains have just got a little dusting, a little sugar dusting of snow on top of them. And we thought that if we left here today without getting this picture, this iconic picture with that bit of snow on top, if it wasn't here on Saturday, we'd be a bit gutted. So we're just taking a few minutes, we parked up, got the gear out, and I've got this first shot set up at 10mm, trying to get all this falls in with my 10 stop on, slowing it all down, getting a little bit of foreground in focus, using a beautiful tree on the sort of left hand side, and then on the right hand side leading up into the top right corner you've got the beautiful mountain with, as I say, that little bit of snow on top. So I'm hoping it will make a great shot. So I tried to think outside the box a little bit for this next shot. I was really happy with that shot, but it was a bit of an obvious, traditional, well-known shot, I think. I think for this one, I wanted to try something a bit different. So I've gone portrait instead of landscape. And I've got there's some lovely light in the background over there. And they're actually, I don't think I can see it on my camera, but it's actually lighting up some more snow in the background. There's a bit of mist just in front of those mountains over there, and there's a bit of mist just on the side of this mountain as well, and just touching where the snow is on top. I think the weather is starting to set in again. So I've got the river, the falls, flowing through the shot from the top right down to the bottom left. Again, that tree is very prominent within the shot, and these trees on the left hand side they're sort of silhouetting against the sort of dingy blue sky. But I'm quite happy with this one. I'm going to set off one more, and I'm looking at about 3 seconds. So I've got my 2 second timer on, and we'll see how this one looks. So whilst I'm here, as well as looking at the falls, I'm looking around me there's some beautiful views over that way, by the way, they're phenomenal, back over towards the locks. But I'm looking at all the trees. There's like a wall of carpet of trees. It's just like colour, foliage, vibrant greens, burnt oranges, sort of all the colours in between, the dead browns as well, almost greys of some of the trees. But I've come across a little, there's no sun hitting it particularly, but I think this shot looks quite nice. There's a lot of green going on, and then there's just one bit of orangey yellow tree which is just raising up out of it. I'm hoping that these settings, a 60th of a second, ISO, I'll tell you in a sec, 200. I'm hoping that it just, I think a 50th of a second isn't, and an 80th is not. I think 60th is pretty much bang on. I'm also thinking whilst I'm taking this shot about, I've mentioned it before in my vlogs, like an inspirational poster, and the footage, the text and inspirational quote could go on the right hand side with the orangey trees, leaves and stuff on the left. I'm going to take another one because the wind keeps just moving the leaves around, and I'm wanting it to be a bit, the curve of the tree a little bit more sort of up towards the top left corner. I hope this makes sense. Hopefully when you see it, it will. 2 second timer, 60th of a second, and I'm quite pleased with that shot. I'm trying to isolate things a little bit more and get a bit more intimate scenery like that previous shot, and I walked away from the camera, away from the area, and came back to see what grabbed me. There's some almost ruby reds over there, but they're too far away and they're vibrant enough to stand out against the greens and the greys. They're almost keeping themselves to themselves. They're not out there and ready to be photographed. So I've looked on the left-hand side of the falls instead, and there's these two silver birch trees that are just coming out of the side. And I've captured the picture already. I'm hoping that the oranges, the greys of the mountain side, the sort of cliff side, and the greens, the vibrant greens, are the stuff that's still living on the mountainside, juxtaposed with the silver birch trees. So I'm going to get one more shot. I'm quite happy with the shot that I've got. I'm about 80mm, I'd say here, and it's a 30th of a second ISO 200 again. I've got the polarizer on the front just to try and bring those colours out that little bit more. So I'm going to take one more shot. I think portrait is working well. Yeah, the contrast between all those elements looks really, really nice. Okay, so I've taken one last shot from here. You might be able to see there's a beautiful pine tree, lovely vibrant greens in it, and I've put that bang in the middle of the shot with all the water flowing through it through the screen behind it. I'm hoping possibly a 5x4, which would look great on Instagram, I think. But all the weather's coming in now, everything's just getting soaked. I put the camera away, need to take the tripod down, and I think we're going to head back to the van, maybe hole up for a little bit, and then head off to have a look for another fall. So we've travelled from the previous location, and we are now just outside Glencoe at a waterfall which you can clearly see behind me. It's called Greymare Waterfall. It's pretty big, fairly epic at that. But getting the shot, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that. If you look over that way, you might see some planks. I've stood on that first plank. They're all secured, screwed in and everything. And that is one way that you can get a bit closer. But even standing on that first plank, there's so much water coming over, so there's so much spray. And I was getting fairly drenched standing on that first plank. So I'm thinking low down, wide lens, pretty wide. Hopefully getting a bit of the flow of the river in, which takes you through and away. And maybe getting one of these trees sort of half cutting off the waterfall, because the waterfall is behind that cliff a little bit. But it does create a bit of an S. But there's definitely shots here to be had. It's quite exciting. I might also, there's some lovely colours up at the top and out of the way. I might try a bit of that with the zoom lens as well. But if I get one good shot from here, I'll be happy.